Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode 2 review. So remember, Jessica is living with Carly. So they wake up after what happened last night, which is basically last week, where Carly was mad at the party, going crazy on Bambi about her DMing the boyfriend when she was just trying to set up something for Carly's birthday. And Carly is claiming she don't want to go through the same stuff she went through with Spice with Bambi, but you getting mad over something that you really shouldn't be getting mad about. And it's really looking like not a misunderstanding like you're trying to say, but more like you just insecure to the point that you think your own friend is DMing your boyfriend and they talking about something when they clearly planning something for your birthday. Like, it's just insecurities all the way around. And Jessica basically said living with Carly is a lot of up and down with her moods, and she has a lot of fear about being betrayed by friends. So she gets concerned about, like, can stuff happen between her and Carly down the line, because look how Carly falls out with Bambi and Ciara and Spice. And we all know how Carly gets when she gets into a relationship. She always thinks that that person that she's dating is the one, she's gonna get married, and it never pans out that way. And the scene basically ended with Carly crying, just saying she hopes this is her last relationship because she's getting too old for this. And honestly, yeah, because we don't even know how old Carly is. She never tells her age. But remember, she said she used to hang out with Mimi when they were younger. Mimi is 52, so Carly has to be between 45 and 55. So Rashida, Kirk, and Jasmine are meeting up to discuss the whole DFAC situation with Jasmine and Kirk's son. So Rashida took the girls' advice and decided to be a part of the conversation. I will say Jasmine is still pretty. So is Rashida, but Jasmine is a pretty girl. So Jasmine comes in, sits down, she's like, I'm shocked to see Rashida. And basically, they kind of greet each other and just say hello. And of course, this is very awkward for Kirk. And just as I expected, it sounds like Kirk feels like because him and Jasmine's relationship wasn't official, that he can treat Cannon, I think that's the son's name, as this financial kid. Like, he could just give him money and not spend time. And Rashida seems to be going along with that as well. Because Jasmine said, okay, well, you missed his last birthday party. And Kirk said, oh, yeah, but I paid for the gifts. I paid for the party. So what? Why didn't you show up? And Rashida, why didn't you make sure he showed up for his kid? Jasmine also says they did mediation, like, probably court ordered, and it's signed on paper that Kirk is supposed to get him the third weekend of every month. He doesn't do it. Rashida's about to chime in. What are you going to say? Rashida is like, oh, well, it's never going to be exactly what you want to be, but when he is around, he gets the same love and treatment, but he's not around like that. So, of course, it's time for Rashida to help Kirk and shift the blame. So she says, oh, what's going on with the DFAC situation? Because there's no excuse for that. So Jasmine said the case got dismissed, but my issue is, why are you so concerned now? Because this is our first time meeting. And before, remember, Rashida said she was never going to talk to Jasmine. And Rashida was like, oh, I've been cared. Cannon knows what's up. I always show him love. And once I forgave Kirk, I had to take everything that came with it, which included him. So Rashida was like, y'all figure it out, and got up and walked away. Because, of course, she can't take the heat. So Kirk said, oh, well, if I come to pick Cannon up from your house, are you going to be fully dressed or how you normally be? So Kirk said, yeah, you came to the door a couple times in your birthday suit. And Jasmine said, oh, you making stuff up now. He's probably not making it up, but either way, Kirk, you need to have self-control and just take care of your business, which is your son. You made your bed, lay in it. So Jasmine said, I don't know what you're trying to do, but remember, I don't erase nothing. And she got up and started walking out and told them to take the mic off of her. So Erica, Scrappy, and Mama D meeting up to do some restaurant hunting, basically. So Mama D comes, and for once, she's actually not being messy. She's like, I am happy to see that they're on a good page, but I don't really think Erica and Scrappy should be going into business together because it could harm their friendship. They used to battle each other in court. And, basically, even though she loves to cook, she's like, I just don't see it. And Mama D basically was like, I'm going to just do my own thing, and I hope y'all going to support my future endeavors. And, like, I don't want to be a part of this threesome with y'all business, because I don't think it's a good idea. And Mama D basically said it's mostly because Scrappy be late on stuff, so she could see them clashing. And Erica was like, oh, so you saying I shouldn't go into business with him? And Mama D basically was like, yeah. So we are finally seeing Ciara, and she's just saying that, she's recovering from the infection that she had in her leg from the tattoo. And you could see from, like, the video she showed in the hospital, the leg that the tattoo was on was, like, 2 times bigger than her other leg. So I guess it was, like, swelling up. And basically, if she didn't go to the hospital when she went, she would have lost her leg. But it is really bad. Like, she has to learn how to re-walk on that leg and stuff like that. So Santana and Chaotic are coming to visit Ciara. They have flowers. Now, I think Ciara was just playing, but she did come off very ungrateful to Chaotic about the flowers. And he was like, you don't got to worry about me giving you your flowers no more. She called the flowers ugly. And she basically told him that what she has is called cellulitis. So Ciara asked Santana why he didn't reach out. And she was just like, the people I go above and beyond for, none of them reached out. And Santana was like, oh, I couldn't tell the severity of it. I thought you was going to come out with a numbing cream. And Ciara was like, well, yeah, I am going to do that now. And she was like, Bambi and Zell didn't reach out to me. And Chaotic was like, yeah, you need to have a conversation with Zell, because Zell was saying he thought it was a stunt last week at the party. And Santana was like, yeah, Zell basically said, you want to be my friend. Because remember, he was saying, like, she want to be with the city girls and Santana, not really his friend. Chaotic done lied and told a whole nother story about the fight that happened between Carly and Bambi. So Chef D from Bad Boys on Zeus has made an appearance on Love and Hip Hop. Santana said he's spinning the block. So Chef D done got Santana name tattooed on his wrist. So Santana said, does the tattoo come with an obligation? And Chef D said, no, I did it for me. You somebody who important in my life. but I really don't trust you. But I'm just like, if you don't trust somebody, why would you get a tattoo of their name on your wrist? But he was like, 1 minute you with me, 1 minute you with Zell. Chef D said, we've been doing this for almost 5 years. Fuck a relationship. We need to be working towards marriage. Santana said, pump your brakes. So now we see Jessica meeting up with Bambi. Obviously, she's caught in the middle between Carly and Bambi because she's living with Carly and friends with Carly, but she also still has her relationship with Bambi. And Bambi was like, that was a weekend I was supposed to be with my kids. And Jessica confirmed it, like that Bambi had already told her that before the event, that was a weekend she was supposed to be with her kids. But she put it to the side to try to do something for Carly's birthday, and Carly threw it in her face and turned it into something else. So Jessica is like, I spoke to Carly and she doesn't really want this to keep going on. And Bambi's like, well, it doesn't make sense because she's calling other people. Like, she involved Amy and tried to have Amy and her double team me at the party. And they were like, just talking again how Amy's mad that Bambi's dating her ex from 12 years ago. Bambi also claims to Jessica that Carly has been talking about her, not dogging her out, but just saying petty stuff, like she don't want to be around Jessica right now because of the kind of advice she'd be giving and stuff. Bambi says she's mad you take naps during the day, Jessica. So Jasmine is meeting up with her friend Erica to discuss everything going on with her, Kirk, and Rashida. So Jasmine's told her friend that she told Kirk she needs more money for Cannon, and he said, okay, I'll give you more if we're fucking. And Jasmine basically said she never outed Kirk for this stuff before because she doesn't want to take 2 steps back with the co-parenting and with Rashida and everything like that. And her friend was like, well, Rashida doesn't give a fuck about you. Clearly, she's never gave a fuck about how you feel. So you need to out him. So Mama D's idea was a food truck so that she could go city to city and state to state. So Erica is coming and Mama D is hosting like the first day of her food truck. I think she said the Royal Kitchen. Erica talking about, oh, Mama D's all over the place. I'm not about to be competing with her. We need to be on one accord as a family in that order. And Mama D was like, I already told you I'm not going into business with y'all, and y'all don't need to go into business together. So I'm doing me. And if this don't work, I'm going to try something else, but it won't be with y'all together. So Carly and her boyfriend T-Lo show up. She talking about, oh, this is a backyard barbecue. Chaotic and Zell also show up. So Saucy Santana and Scrappy also show up, and Scrappy is just in shock, just like Erica, like, oh, so she told her she had a surprise and that she was going to do some future endeavors, but like, this is a big surprise. This is clearly something that she already had in the works, and it's like, so the restaurant was never really a thought for her, but it's like, she said that. And T-Lo doesn't really seem messy. He's confirming in front of everybody, like, I already told Carly Bambi only reached out to me to try to coordinate something for her birthday, so I don't know why she's mad. Chaotic was looking at Carly like she was crazy as hell, because she is. And then Zell walks over and greets Santana, gives him a hug. So Chaotic asked, are y'all good? And they were like, yeah. And Santana was like, Zell do the same thing I do, but if I go somewhere with a nigga tomorrow, it's going to be a whole bunch of BS. But I don't say nothing when he doing him. So Santana said, what happened when you went to Mexico? So Zell goes, okay, yes, I did have sex with a girl in Mexico. So Santana is like, Zell could do what he want to do, but I need to be able to do what I want to do. And Zell just was like, Carly's confused, but I always said I was bi. So after Mama D's event wraps up, Erica and Scrappy basically confront her like, are you going to do this restaurant lounge with us, or do you want to do this? And Mama D was like, this is just a tester. And Erica was like, but what are we testing? Like, you could have did all this food and tested it at the restaurant. It's like they don't seem to get that Mama D just don't want to go into business with the both of them. And she don't think that they should go into business together either. Because all 3 of them have a rocky history. So Ciara says she's about 85% healed. And the doctor told her that she needs to start walking around. So she comes limping into this event. So Chaotic still being real supportive to Ciara. And Mama D like, I would have came to the hospital if I knew that you didn't have a lot of support around you. Carly just looking around, and Zell said in his confessional that he don't want to talk to Ciara because under his mugshot when him and Bambi had got arrested, they was at some club in Atlanta, I think last year. She was under the comments on Instagram promoting her business, Ghetto Girls Eats. And then he also feels the way that Ciara was hanging out with Santana and not messaging him or letting him know, like, I'm hanging out with your boyfriend or your ex, because they was friends first. So Chaotic called Zell over, and when Zell came, Chaotic was like, oh, so you don't see Ciara leg? And Zell was like, I see it. What you call me over here for? So Zell is like, I feel like she trying to do the Spice era where she go through something life-threatening and have a storyline, and it's fake just like everything she does and wears. So Zell sits down. Ciara's like, what's really the problem? Zell said, you just not a good friend and I just look at you as fake. So Chaotic said, okay, y'all need to talk alone, so I'm gonna walk away. Ciara like, ain't shit fake about me. And she said, Zell is talking, but when I drop music, he commented on Instagram saying, I miss Ghetto Girl Eats. Like, basically he was saying, like, hang it up, don't do music, and just focus on her cooking and shit that she already is successful in. And Zell had basically said he had just got a tooth pulled, so he was trying to avoid all this drama. And he was slurring all his words. You could barely understand what he said. So Ciara was like, you know what? You need to talk to me when you actually could talk. And Zell was like, please, you be slurring with them fake-ass lips. And he walked off, and the episode ended there. So next week, we're going to see Kendra and Jock go horseback riding with Kirk and Rashida. We're going to see Erica Banks return. Her and Chaotic are still dealing with each other. And basically, Erica is going to walk in on a studio session with Chaotic and Ciara. We also see Carly confronting her ex, the guy who worked for 1501, talking about he's stalking her and her new boyfriend, and she's going to get a restraining order on him. And Amy and Bambi are going to get into it, and they were using a lot of fighting words, talking about dragging each other, sliding each other. So yes. And this is all over this guy that Bambi's dating now that Amy was dating 10 to 12 years ago. So I'll see y'all in a little while to do episode 3.